Welcome back, guys, to another episode of What You Take, the show where we talk about just about anything we can possibly think of and bring you guys along for the unfiltered and unapologetic ride. As always, you're going to have myself here, Steve, my brother Chris.
Hi. I'm researching stuff.
And Spence.
No one takes me seriously.
I do, buddy.
Thanks, man.
No, you don't. Shut the fuck up.
No one listens about the 5G and the vaccines. Like, the Earth's flat, people. Like,
Spence, what the fuck are we talking about today?
all right, today we're talking about the drones flying over New Jersey.
Drones!
So this was like the fucking bee's knees all of November and most of December. And then it was weird enough that it just kind of dropped off the face of the earth. But my understanding is it's still happening. Just people are stopped talking about it.
Yeah, it's kind of dropped off. I've also seen some reports that people are saying that there was something going on, but because of our previous episode on the dead internet theory, people are like uploading their own shit now, or uploading videos of hobbyist drones with like edited together sounds.
Right. They're doing a lot. Like, I was even just reading one of the articles I was reading was talking about how they had like 5,000 incidents that they just negated because it wasn't credible.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, generally, if you live in New Jersey and you look up at night between, I think they said dusk and 11, there's hundreds of drones. And like I said, these aren't like the commercial you buy at Walmart kind of drones. These are like 6 foot to almost car-sized drones all over New Jersey. And the interesting thing about it is anyone who's investigating it currently, including the FBI and even the military, they can't find who's launching them. They can't find where they're launching them. They can't find where they're landing. It just seems like they're up in the sky and then they just disappear.
Well, Spencer, you know what I gotta say to this? Aliens are in the ocean.
It's aliens. No one believes me. It's aliens. Like, well, they even just recently crashed one, and they went to go investigate and collect the debris. It was gone. It wasn't there. Not to mention the fact they're also flying over U.S. military bases.
Well, what you got to do is get Will Smith on the case.
Yeah, we gotta get... He needs to punch an alien.
Welcome to Earth.
There was a couple of different theories that I had heard that I don't want to completely discredit, but again, like you had said, no one has come out and said anything in regards to it.
Right.
One of them had been that there had been multiple different suitcase bombs, suitcase nukes that had gotten into the country, and that these are actually our drones with a different level of technology than what we've seen publicly before that are scanning the areas for
I've
nuclears.
heard this theory.
X-ray,
yeah.
sonar, seismograph.
But they don't want to alarm the public because they're like, hey, there's a nuke loose.
Right, so it's like, do you take possible alien invasion or, hey, we've got a nuke on the loose? So, like, I've heard that theory, which I don't want to completely discredit.
Right.
I feel like this is giving... Don't crucify me for this. Trying to give our officials the benefit of the doubt. I feel like if it was a threat, you would have seen F-22s, F-35s, like, making attacks on these things.
Well, if you notice how they word things really carefully, it's not like, oh, these don't belong to the U.S. military. Just the U.S. military. Not to say it's a contractor they hired.
Correct.
Or, on top of it, too, the drones themselves aren't a threat. Don't worry, guys.
Right.
The
they never
drone
said
themselves, but there's something...
You're right, you know? So it's like they're very careful on how they're wording things, which is kind of alarming, honestly.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's just aliens. Just say
It could just be the aliens.
It
Yeah.
also could be something that it could be like a low-level test as well, because and kind of mixing this with what you had said, Stephen, it could be a low-level test for, like, policing drones. It could be like a low-level test to be like, can we keep these in an area relatively, like, low to the ground, stable flight path, scanning technology, and then can we spring these on all of the country?
Well, I do have one of these that is actually a pretty decent theory about this as well. If it is, like, let's say, like, alien things happening, because, you know, our U.S. government said it and just no one ignored it, you know, or everybody ignored it because egg prices.
Excessive secrecy has led to grave misdeeds against loyal civil servants, military personnel, and the public, all to hide the fact that we are not alone in the cosmos.
Yeah.
But, like... No, dude, straight up, like, think about
Eggs
it.
are ridiculous.
They
right
are
now, Spencer.
ridiculous, though. I'm sorry, it's a staple food. Come on. Like, but no, like, okay, so, like, one of the theories is about that is, like, with Tic Tacs, for example, our U.S. pilots and stuff like that, there was always the verbal, like, hey, I'm seeing this, or, like, oh, this is going on, and no one kind of addressed it because, oh, it's not on our sonar, it's not on any sort of pickup.
Yep.
And so one of the things about it that's kind of interesting is how to put it. So we upgraded our like sonar. I don't want to say sonar, but our like radar technology. And now we can pick up these Tic Tacs. Mm-hmm. So what if we just decided to take that technology and apply it to drones and scan our whole freaking East Coast?
Right.
That's very possible. A similar idea to that is, weirdly enough, in the Mass Effect games. So the way that their stealth drive works is that it cuts off all the ship's emissions. And it actually comes into play later on in the game when you're fighting AI enemies.
Keep going.
Oh.
No. I'm going to build off of this in a second.
You're fighting against AI enemies. And so the thing is your pilot says, well, if they look out a window, they'll see us. And then the captain's like, they're AI. They don't have windows.
Right.
They only rely on their computers.
Right.
So we are invisible to them.
Yep. There was a Spence. I think I sent you this clip actually. There was someone, I don't know if it was Space Station or if it was one of our shuttles or if it was just one of our like low atmosphere craft that we have. But anyway, we had a ship or we had a craft where the pilot was going, and all of a sudden the footage got like staticky and you saw two quick little blips. Okay.
Right.
But then when they slowed it down, you could see two shapes that were very, very craft shaped.
Yeah.
And you could tell they got close enough that it got, like, you could see that it was metal. That these were actual craft that zipped by.
Right.
But when they got within proximity,
Fry your camera, bitch.
it started to fry the camera.
Yep.
So it's like, you cannot tell me this shit doesn't exist. Whether it
Right.
be alien, whether it be government, whether it be foreign, whatever the case is, this shit exists. And I think where people get confused is they think of like stealth technology and they think of Wonder Woman's jet, where it just
Right.
in front of you, it's just gonna disappear. No,
Well-
stealth just means you can't find it.
You can't exactly.
There was a guy who did a thing a long time ago when infrared cameras were first coming out for like security.
Yeah.
He made a pair of sunglasses that had a type of like film or like element in them that super hyper magnified infrared reflection off of the face.
Yep.
So his whole like upper torso, as far as any of these cameras were concerned, was just a big white blob.
Yeah.
You can't identify anything with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm very interested to see if this is going to pick back up again.
That's my thing. Everyone kind of, I think the thing with the all the election stuff going on, I think that kind of got pushed to the back burner. But like I said, they're not going away. They're still there. They're still doing their thing.
Right.
But then on top of it too, you also got like, I keep hearing about these orbs that are like investigating around them, and like it seems like anytime there's a concentration of drones, a bunch of orbs show up.
So I will end with this because we're almost at time. The one other angle that I have seen a lot of people take with these drones because of some of the early footage that they had seen is it had looked like it was a bunch of like rings that were circling around.
Right.
People are taking the religious standpoint on it that these are your biblically accurate angels.
Yeah.
For those of you that don't know, look up a biblically accurate angel.
Be not afraid, motherfucker!
There's a reason. There's a reason why every time an angel visited someone, they said, "Be not afraid." It's because they are rings upon rings of eyeballs with wings. I think it's 6 wings and a 1.5 billion different eyes.
That's one kind of angel.
That is
yes.
one kind of angel, yes. And so it's interesting to see how that fits this just as well as everything else that we just discussed.
Well, I mean, how many reports are there of like orbs? This is where the whole, like, they're in the oceans, like these orbs shooting out of the...
Correct.
Yeah. So we have orbs shooting out of the ocean. We've seen Tic Tacs come from the ocean.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know how many sailor stories there's been about weird lights underneath that. I mean, like, to be fair, if I was an alien on this planet, the ocean, good luck finding me.
That's the way to go.
You know? And like I said, they said aliens are real. It's just out there now. It's just there.
Understate that one enough. With that being said,
Can you
guys,
get a flashing banner?
Yeah, like...
they are real.
Right.
With that being said, guys, we are going to go ahead and wrap this episode up. What are your thoughts on the Jersey drones? Drop them in the comments. Do you think it's aliens? Do you think it's angels? What are your thoughts? What are we missing that we need to maybe take into account for this? Make sure to give this video a like, maybe give it a share, hit that subscribe button, and until next time, guys, peace out.
Hide your kids, hide your wife!
We are not alone in the cosmos.